Welcome to the Pit Crew. I'm Camille, your attending, and I have my residents with me.
I'm Mal.
And I'm Robert.
And today we are covering the Pitt Season 2, Episode 10, which is the 4 p.m. hour, and we are retitling this episode to be Mommy Issues. And Mal's going to present our patient. Take it away.
Our patient this week presents with having lots of sex. And you know what? Good for her. Good for her. Being the only king sister who fucks. You love to see it.
Okay, I do want to clarify something that I said last week that some people were not happy about. I want to clarify for the listeners because I think that sometimes I come across like I'm not joking when I'm fucking joking. I don't actually have anything against furries. It's just not for me. Literally, I think what it comes from is like I have an issue with like puppets and animatronics and like stuff like that. I can't even look at like the Muppets. Terrify me.
Yeah, that is true. You do hate the Muppets. Camille, I think we need an apology video with a ukulele in tears.
No.
Post it online, please.
I don't not hate them that much. But anyway, I just wanted to clarify, like, understand, I swear to God, I just go hard into a joke, especially because the point of this podcast is basically to make people laugh. To discuss things we like. So if I missed the mark or if you didn't get that I was joking, I'm sorry. It was a joke.
All the love to furries.
Well.
Okay, Camille. Okay.
She's still joking.
No, I know.
Robby doesn't wear his helmet because he's suicidal.
What?
I just thought it was bad writing.
I didn't know that. I thought it was a continuity error.
Actually, speaking of continuity errors, there's maybe continuity on the continuity error from this episode. We can talk about that in a little bit.
The way we see Langdon's ring at some point, and it's like glowing golden, the most obvious ring you've ever seen in your life. And I'm like, oh. On the topic of this episode, the funny thing is, as a fan, when I watch a show, and I see a shorter episode, like 43 minutes. I'm like, God damn it, it's only 43 minutes. As a podcaster, I'm fucking thrilled, bro.
Oh, no, same. But at the same time, because I pause and I take notes, and then I pause and then I take notes, and it's like doing that for a 50-minute episode hurts in my soul. So these extra 7 minutes we got. I mean, we got 7 extra minutes the same week we lost an hour. So really, if you think about it, we only lost 53 minutes.
We had an hour less to do podcast stuff. An hour less on International Women's Day, if that's not the most fucked up thing you've ever heard.
That's a hate crime.
The worst thing that's happened to me this week.
That's a hate crime, and I think that every man listening should Venmo me $50 right now. Reparations.
Mal and I went to a Sirens game on Sunday with a bunch of friends and my boyfriend, and Sirens clocked the fuck out of the Charge. They won 6-2. It was great.
It was fantastic. I had a great time.
And part of like the celebration of Women's Day was also like, damn, it sucks that daylight savings is on this day. So all of the people who have 24 on their jerseys have 23 to like honor the time lost, and so like we can all appreciate women more. And I'm like, hell yeah. But also
what? That's funny. Oh my God. Listeners, when you are listening to this episode, I will be in New York visiting Mal and Robert.
Also, when you're listening to this on Friday, just know that my birthday is tomorrow, Saturday, March the 14th, and I expect you all to get me something. My address is... No, I'm just kidding.
Mal, it'd be easier for me to leak your credit card information because you're constantly, every time I see you, you're like, I don't know where my credit card is. I'm like, oh my God.
That's true. Apple Pay has been bad for me. I got an email today that was like, you can now put your ID in your Apple Wallet and like use it to fly. And I was like, oh, so I'm never going to know where my wallet is ever again. Because that's like the only reason I keep up with where my physical ID is.
But see, the problem is that doesn't apply in all states. So it might apply in New York, but like Tennessee, that doesn't apply. You can't do that here. We don't support that here. I think it's like very few states that actually allow that.
Oh.
Yeah, I think there's only
I don't
like
know
4
if it's
or
a
5
thing
states.
In New York, I just got an email from like Apple Pay.
Interesting.
Wallet,
well,
whatever.
Shall we? I wanted to say dive, but we have a water park accident, so shall we plunge into this episode?
Crash off the water slide into this episode?
I need to say, because I am unfortunately on Pitt social media in a worse capacity than Camille, maybe equal with Mal, but at least worse than Camille. And people were like, really? The big twist is that we had a water park slide like break? That's it? I want more. I'm like, God, how much do you want people to fucking suffer? Jesus.
I don't think that's the big twist. Like,
I think I was right. I think that, yeah, I don't think this is it.
what hour did the Pit Fest shooting happen? Because it was like
5 o'clock.
Oh.
Next week.
So, hey, next week, guys, make your predictions now. Robby loses his penis. All right. Anyway,
in a firework
Have you seen
accident.
that
When
meme
the
of, like,
fireworks
the
store
person-
explodes, Robby loses his dick. Actually, I am intentionally launching a firework at Robby's crotch. I'm so mad at him after this episode.
crotch rocket. If you noticed in the end of last week's episode, we have this very dramatic moment of Dano looking at the charge nurse phone, like the medic command phone, before Donnie goes into chairs and notices the TV talking about the accident.
I gotta say, it took me 2 watches to realize that, like, the phone and the accident were tied and were, like, the same
phone.
thing.
The phone
I was like,
is ringing.
water slide accident, and also the phone is ringing. Then I was like, no, they were calling to tell us about the water slide. Like, I'm an idiot.
And the phone will ring and there'll be nobody there.
So Dana is answering the phone that rang at the end of the last episode. We have 2 being airlifted in from this water slide collapse. Langdon offers to help, but Robby doesn't want Langdon's help. He wants the very best help. So he calls on fucking Ogilvy? Brother, you gotta be shitting me.
Like, your beef with Langdon has gone so far that the next best thing is Ogilvy? Get your head out of your ass.
I would argue that the patient who gets treated by Robby, Ogilvy, and the team, like whatever team was consisting of Robby and Ogilvy, should be able to sue for improper care.
Why?
I'm making a joke that Ogilvy sucks.
Just because Ogilvy was there?
Yeah.
I didn't give you permission to rock my severed limb like a baby in your arms, sir. But we have no idea on any of the injuries yet. We don't know what's incoming. Now, McKay is explaining to Roxy the risks of upping her morphine. And Javati is not having a good day. Like, this is not a good day. The past few hours for her have been rough. She can't, like, emotionally handle this. She's got tears in her eyes, and she's, like, sorry, and she has to leave.
The bit that really gets me is her saying that, like, she feels like an asshole because they just want more time with their mom and all she wants is less. And I was like, oh, Javati, no.
I've definitely had this experience after my dad passed where I've had friends who have like terrible experiences or relationship with their parents, and they'll talk to me about it and they'll be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize. I'm like, I had a great relationship with my dad. I miss him. It hurts to think about him. You don't. Like, we're in different ballparks, my guy. I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I think it's important to approach situations like that with nuance because, like, the fact that someone else's parent is dead or dying doesn't negate, like, the complicated relationship that you have and how much that affects your life.
And I also think that, especially in today's political climate, a lot of us want more time with our parents prior to... Yeah.
Prior to the propaganda machine kind of stealing our parents. Yeah.
I think a lot of us feel that way. And so I understood both sides of it. And I totally just, I got it. I understood.
Yeah.
McKay is telling her that she has to create these emotional boundaries. She has to, work on this. I also think that that was interesting for her to say because that comes up with Langdon near the end of the episode as well, creating emotional boundaries. I really appreciated the way that McKay handles this entire episode. She's so tender and she's everything that everyone needs her to be. And she's compartmentalizing so well, but you don't look at her and be like, that bitch is compartmentalizing,
I feel like McKay is so quietly just mature and grounded and, like, very clearly is somebody with a lot of life experience that really plays into her work every day. And, like, I feel like I don't always appreciate, like, just how great of a character she is and, like, how great she is to have in these situations, like, as a mentor and as somebody who's, like, been through kind of everything, because it's like, yeah, she's also sober, and yeah, she's like a mother, she has a child, so like she can relate to all these people in all these different ways, and so like it's just she's so fascinating and cool, and I feel like we don't appreciate her enough because a lot of times she's just so quiet about it, and I'm just like, more McKay appreciation, please.
I think one thing that I really like about McKay and everything that you just mentioned is the fact that that is like man-made. She made herself that way. She coped her way into it. She worked her way to how she is. You know, that's not her natural state of being. She's been through so much that has taken effort, you know? And I really like that.
She's an icon.
Yeah, she is the moment. And McKay encourages her to give her mom a chance. And I also noticed that we've really held on to the same mentorships from last season. So we have Javati with McKay, we have Mel and Langdon. Like, we still have all these mentorships that we built early last season, and I like it a lot.
Robby
You
and
know,
Whitaker.
Whitaker and Robby.
Yeah.
One could say Huckle Robby.
God.
Robert, if you don't stop bringing up Huckle Robby, I'm going to think that you unironically ship it.
Oh, I unironically ship it.
No!
We're gonna get a review that's like, the host is making fun of Huckle Robby, and that was really offensive. And now I don't want to listen to this podcast.
I hate gay people. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no.
I'm homophobic.
Here's the thing. I like Huckle Robby
In that
fics.
case.
I like Garsantos fics. I like some Kingdom fics. Any fic where Abbott's involved, also top tier. I don't care who he's fucking. If you send me a fic where Abbott is fucking someone, I don't care. Send it to me.
Abbott fucks.
Give me one of those, like, have you ever seen those? I've never seen one for the Pit, but like those compilations, like when people write basically a series of one shots that's just like one character sleeping with everyone. We need that for Abbott, where Abbott just sleeps with everyone.
No.
I only read fanfic about, for the Pit at least, I only read fanfic about the women. I've read some Garsantos. I read a pretty good, like, Santos Mel situation that I enjoyed. I think that's sort of an underexplored duo. Yeah, I think the girls should kiss, and that's where I stand on that.
Shocker.
Me? Think the girls should kiss? That sounds fake.
By the way, we get so many emails and comments being like, "Oh my god, besties, link the fic." Just go on AO3 and
It's so
look
hard,
it up.
especially because we don't give these titles. We don't ever give titles.
We gave one title once, and that's really it.
Respectfully, once I've read a fanfic, I no longer remember what the fanfic was, and so I'll reference it, and I'm just like, it was something.
That's me with any book where I'll read it, I'll be like, "Oh my god, that scene was great. Oh my god, the emotions. Oh my god, this. Oh my god, that." And then I close the book, and then, you can hold a gun in my face and be like, "Tell me one plot point." I'm like, "I've never read this book in my entire life."
No, I'll get like fanfic update emails that are like, "This fanfic is updated," and I'm like, "What is this?" Like, I have no recollection of ever reading this fanfic in my life.
I would also like to mention the fact that we're talking about how Abbott fucks, but like, we're not acknowledging the fact that this man still wears the wedding ring that he got from his dead wife.
That doesn't mean he can't fuck.
You think that's the hand he uses to like reach up and like rope the titty while he's going down
you know
on a
what?
girl?
Let's not. God.
That is like the power move.
Okay.
That...
I know, that's the Elia, baby.
Yeah.
Now, Langdon goes to Dr. Al because he knows that she's going to let him help with all of this incoming trauma. And they need him. And he knows that they need him, right? Just because Robby has an attitude doesn't mean they don't actually need Langdon. So she tells Santos to work with Langdon. Whoops.
Surely nothing will go wrong. What's that meme from Chowder? And nothing can go wrong. Oh no, it all went wrong. That's a meme you fucking know. Out of all the references I've fucking made on this podcast, you understand Chowder?
Yes.
Chowder? Oh,
never heard that in my life.
This is a new low for me. Oh, Chowder? Oh, move on.
I have seen more SpongeBob than I've seen Chowder, but I'm on TikTok, bestie. I've seen that.
I'm gonna delete it from your phone while I'm there.
Yeah, you probably. Well, I actually don't really get on TikTok anymore because it's lost its sparkle.
So Emma is asking Dana if cyber attacks happen often, and Dana says like it's more likely, like it happens a lot more often than you'd think, which is very true. It just doesn't happen to shut a hospital down or make you go analog. So Monica blames the Ruskies, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna say it. This woman gives me outdated racist vibes. And I'm like, are we stuck at like, yes, fuck Russia, okay? I'll say that with my whole chest, right? Russia, not Russians, just like the state of Russia.
Right,
okay?
right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But also the fact that this woman is like, I don't know, man. Something's given me like she doesn't do well with Princess because Princess was muttering something under her breath last episode, and then this time she's saying Ruskies, like, and which are Russians, right? So I'm just sitting here going, So Perla answers the charge nurse phone, right? Mohan's mom has called it.
Crazy.
Craziness. Oh my god. Now Ogilvy is on the roof with Robby. One of them I'm like, please step away from the ledge. And the other one I'm like, no, just one step closer. But
This is where we should have had the ER reference where Ogilvy gets fucking crushed by a helicopter.
Ogilvy tells Robby that he worked in an emergency department in Vermont and that there were like car crashes and overdoses and heart attacks and all this other stuff. And he's just not used to this. Like, this is a new normal for him. And he's like, I don't really think you could call this normal in any case.
I need to say, because later on there's that bit with the English teacher and he's like, oh, I brought a book because I didn't think I was going to be busy. Was he not busy in this emergency department in Vermont?
I guess not.
Like, fuck, okay.
I guess, I mean, if it's rural.
Is Vermont a utopia? Because this feels like...
Isn't that Bernie Sanders land? So.
Oh, yeah. Bernie has fixed medicine
Everything.
in Vermont.
Yeah. And then Ogilvy is handed a souvenir.
I laughed out loud, I have to say.
He gets a bag of lunch meat.
No, they were like, here's her leg. And I was like, oh my god.
I wasn't expecting that. And so I was like, oh my god. So Monica is suggesting downstairs that they use volunteers from the gift shop as runners, which is so funny to me because I'm like, can you do that? Is that not a HIPAA? Like, I don't know. Those are just volunteers, guys.
I didn't even consider HIPAA.
I guess they don't have to like look at anything, but also I'm just like, can you do that? I don't know. Now, Joy and Mohan are sent to triage, and Dana writes a prescription for a nicotine patch and asks Mohan to sign it so that she can give it to Monica. And then Mohan starts asking about Abbott because she wants him to write her a letter of recommendation. I thought it was pretty interesting that she's asking for Abbott and not Robby.
Or even Dr. Halachimi.
Right, she doesn't even work with Abbott, like on the same shift. She's like, listen, Robby hates women.
Well, because I'm thinking about, like, Robby at the start of last season was very much like, you're going too slow, you're going too slow, you're going too slow. So I would imagine that, like, Robby has always been harder on her than Abbott ever has.
I think that Abbott also, and we didn't get this because it ended up getting cut, but they call her slow-mo in front of Abbott in episode 1, and it was deleted. And he says she's the smartest one out of all of us. I think that that kind of informs the way that he treats her and views her, is that she is more intelligent than anyone else there.
Yeah, but poor girl has a lot going on. Her mom is calling, she needs her rec letter because she's got to get into this fellowship, and also Dana has just like handed her this prescription that she's just signing. This made me so nervous, just by the way. I was like, hey, this doesn't feel great, bestie.
And I was like, how normal is that? And like, I guess someone wouldn't really want to tell us that, but I was curious because I was like, how normal is that? And like, of all things, a nicotine patch. But I'm also like, okay.
Mohan, no, that's how the opioid crisis happened. Stop.
It's the opioid crisis is actually about nicotine patches. Keep the nicotine patches off the streets.
Nicotine patches, you'll have a nick of time. So a nurse comes up to Dana to ask her to translate a doctor's note. And we finally get like this acknowledgement that a doctor's handwriting is shit. I'm amazed it took this long into this show for someone to be like, what?
Since Dana's already dogpiling on the Russians, I want someone to show Dana a Russian doctor's handwriting in script. Have you guys seen Russian script?
Yes.
It's crazy.
I have not.
Please pull up YouTube, by the way, the person listening to this, a photo of a Russian doctor like prescription written in script.
Is it this?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's terrifying. Anyway, now Robby and Ogilvy come in with the patient, and Whitaker and Donnie join in. She fell from 10 feet onto a metal fence.
Yeah.
And her leg was amputated.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what kind of fence was this that cut so cleanly through?
Here's the thing. With enough force, you can force even a very dull knife to cut something. So I imagine falling from 10 feet directly onto a metal fence still does some damage. And in this case, it cuts off her leg. Camille just Googled it, and it looks like a fence that has those like spaces in the middle with like the pointy bits on top. That'll still cut your leg.
It looks like a serrated knife if you think about it.
See, okay, I didn't consider like the bars going across, because this is also the kind of fence I was picturing, like with the just kind of up and down metal pieces. But I was like, that would just
Impale you.
That would impale you, not cut your leg entirely off.
Enough force will fuck you up.
So Ogilvy is rocking her leg in his arms like it's a baby, which I thought was kind of funny because he's just like, I'm not well. And she keeps saying that she's in pain, and she's asking if she broke her leg. And Ogilvy says, I wouldn't say that it's broken exactly. And I didn't even see Robby's face at first. I just saw MedTech Millette. Her face when she looks at him was so funny to me.
Millette, you're an icon.
Let's pay attention to Millette more than we pay attention to Robby. Let's keep it that way.
That is exactly how you need to watch this show.
I love so much how Robby, is assuring the patient, give me a second, goes up to Ogilvy and he's like, all right, listen, I want you to put the leg on the gurney. We're going to get her for an x-ray. Keep your fucking mouth shut.
Mm-hmm.
So good. I literally was just sitting here and thinking about like what it must be like to lose a limb and like because like your body doesn't quite know with all the adrenaline, like your brain is not like my limb is gone if you can't see it, right? So like what is that?
I don't know.
Psychologically, what is that like? That's insane. She doesn't take it well, but she's really concerned about her leg, so it's hard for them to examine anything because every time they try, she's like, no, it's my leg that hurts. And they're like, we know.
We know.
We know. We know, Queen.
No, my question is, how has she not seen it? Because, like, I can see my leg, and, like, she's moving around a lot. Like, when something is hurt, the first thing I'm going to do is look at it. So I feel like the second they got her out of the, like, cocoon thing that they transported her in, I would have been, like, looking at my leg.
Well, because they're all over her. So...
Okay, maybe.
Also, if I'm in that much pain, trying to sit up, if you think about it, trying to sit up, you have to use your legs for that.
Guess that's true.
And so, like, you wouldn't want to cause yourself pain, which I guess she's, on adrenaline right now, but also she's still in a lot of pain. So Ogilvy is staring at her leg in horror, and Whitaker is like, hey, take deep breaths, which I thought was funny. And they put her leg down next to her body for the x-ray. And I just like, ugh.
Yuck, yuck, yuck. Ew, yuck.
What is it earlier this season, Robert, that you said it made you go, ugh?
We need to put out a public statement that Camille has no personal beef, aura of beef with amputees.
So yeah, the final thought there is yuck, 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 ew, yuck.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to have a button made that you can just hit the button.
We should get shirts that just say yuck, 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 ew, yuck.
Pit Crew merch, yuck.
The second trauma coming in is a 42-year-old male who had a 20-foot fall. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I can't believe he's talking.
If we will remember, the parkour patient fell 10 feet. Now, albeit he fell through a glass ceiling thing, but he fell 10 feet. And they had a whole point of being like, anything over, 0% is bad. Anything over like a foot or whatever is bad. Like falling is bad. This is double that height.
Yeah, but it was the splash zone, so it's okay, I guess.
I don't know.
Oh my God. So he says that his name is Derek and he needs to find his son, whose name is Zach. He's 7 years old. This is my vibe. Is Langdon in his element, confident, able to like get shit done. And you'll notice that it's because Robby's not fucking there. Because it's an attending who has faith in him, who's with him. And he has no hangups, no struggles whatsoever. He's correcting Santos in the same way that anybody else would. But she's fighting back. She's being very abrasive. And it's like, I get it. But at the same time, she is allowing her patient care to slip because of her beef.
Yeah.
Aura of beef.
Yeah, the aura of beef is getting in the way.
Right.
I don't smell good medical care here. I smell beef. So Dr. Al agrees with Langdon's treatment plan, and Derek's left hand ring finger is degloved, which was
Ooh.
a second like yuck, 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 ew, yuck for me, because just the way it looked at the tip, I just, no.
His finger has a foreskin.
Yes.
I'm kind of like, this is one of the things that I was sort of like, I could not take my eyes off of it, because the way that you could like see the tendons, I was like, that is fascinating. Look at that.
And see, it wasn't even that made me like yuck, yuck, yuck. It was just the like all of the flesh
All of the
and
skin being at the end.
up at the. That was it.
Shout out to
Yeah.
the Pitt's first, at least the show, not the hospital's first degloving patient, Minu. I hope she's doing great. It's been 10 months, girl. I hope you're living your best life.
So Santos has mentioned this degloving injury, and Langdon tells her to focus on the chest, which is valid. Again, that's exactly something Robby would be like, hey, focus on this, right? She doesn't want to hear it. And Mohan is snapping at her phone to fuck off, and Joy is like, oh, is this like an ex or something? And she's like, no, it's my mom. I wish it were an ex. She doesn't have any, let's be honest.
What do we think her mom is calling her about? Because it can't just be to talk about this cruise.
Yeah, something's happening.
No, listen, as somebody with an immigrant mother, it sometimes really is. She is calling you for the sake of calling you for the same bullshit over and over again.
Her mom is still blowing her up. I don't know what happened, but I don't know that it's just a come and sort your things out. I don't know. And but again, maybe it is, and maybe Mohan needs to like put down a better boundary, right? Maybe we're all learning about boundaries here. This is the mommy issues episode. So a patient snaps at them in the hallway to be like, I've been laying out here forever. My leg is broken. And she's like, somebody will be out here soon. And then this old woman is like, I really have to pee. Can I go to the bathroom? And she's like, I don't know. I'm not your doctor. And she's like, but it says doctor. And she's like, I'm not your doctor. And I'm like, yes, bitch, get her. I mean, I like to see Mohan standing up for herself a little bit, even though that's not really what it's meant to convey. I was like, yeah, you know what?
I was
Slap her in
just
the
worried
face.
about her. Like, I'm like, this is not Mohan. She's not okay.
Now, we also hear someone say, are either of you treating my mother? And she says, nope, as she's walking through the door to go to chairs. We have Helen Torres coming in. The back of her right leg is swollen like a golf ball. I am almost like, is there like a broken bone or something that's like caught, like it's like poking, or I don't know, man. I don't know. I wonder if we'll find out more about this, or if this is just like an in passing kind of a thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now, Mohan's bedside manner is kind of slipping. Princess comes to say that her mom has called again, which means she called the charge nurse phone again, which is fucking insane. How did she get the fucking number?
That's kind of what leads me to think that, like, something is going on, because to me, I would think, like, if I was in charge of answering that phone and it was like, hi, I'm Samira's mom, like, I have to talk to her, I would be like, is it an emergency? No? Okay, stop calling this number. It's for emergencies. And so that kind of makes me think that she's, like, said to somebody, like, it is an emergency. And maybe it's not. Maybe she just is saying that, but, like, I don't know. The fact that, like, Princess would come and, like, report it to her makes me think that, like, this is a call that you probably need to take.
But at the same time, I don't think Princess would have let it go. If it were a call she really did need to take, I think she'd have been like, no, listen, you need to take this call, right? So I don't know. But Mohan snaps at her, and then Mohan starts to freak out. She's sweating. She's struggling to breathe. She can't finish this intake with this patient, this triage. She just can't do it. She needs to take a break. And she walks back into chairs where people start crowding around her and like putting their fingers in her face. Like, does this look infected? And like all these questions and all these people who want something from her. Thank God Joy follows her out and demands that she gets into the chair.
When Joy did that, I was a little bit like, okay, yes, ma'am.
Of course you were.
I would use my horny thought, but I'm saving it for when we see Dr. Ellis again.
Okay, sure. Did anybody else immediately clock this as being a panic attack?
Oh, yeah.
100%. It was very funny to me seeing Pitt social media when, next time on the Pitt came out after episode 9, and they're like, oh my God, is she dying? And it's like, no, she's not. It's a panic attack. It's fine.
Personally, I found it a little bit unbelievable that everybody was like, oh my God, she's having a heart attack. And I'm like, how is nobody clocking that this is just a panic attack?
Yeah, but I mean, I also like I understand you wanting to like take it seriously just in case it is something else.
Especially if she's a doctor and she's like, I think I'm having an MI. So we find out the bottom of the water slide like fell off, which is something that would happen in my nightmares.
Yeah, no, I love like water slides, roller coasters, the whole thing. Thank God they haven't really shown me what this water slide looks like because I think it might turn me off from water slides.
Now, Derek's hand got stuck and his finger was ripping
Eee.
off. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Ew, yuck.
And he lost hold of his son. That's awful. That's awful.
Yeah.
Because and again, I know I say this all the time, but it's because I don't want and don't have children. My cats are like my children, right? So if I were holding on to one of my cats in a dangerous situation and I lost them somehow, I would never forgive myself, like ever, because that's my child. So I can't imagine the panic this man is feeling. Now, he does still have feeling in his finger, and Garcia comes in, and her banter with Langdon is still, like, wonderful. She says she needs the ring cutter, and Langdon says that's why they paid the surgeons the big bucks, which I thought was hysterical. It reminded me of season 1 when he makes the joke about the difference between surgeons and serial killers being that serial killers don't bill their victims. So I love the banter coming back. Now, he can still move his finger, and I'm like, I can't look at that.
I thought it was fascinating.
No, again, it's just the tip that I'm just like, I can't.
Body is a marvel, because what do you mean we got all that going on in there?
What do you mean we got all those wet bones and chunks of meat? Santos is giving Langdon shit for the questions that he's asking, because she's like, those are med student questions. But Dr. Al is like, this is a teaching hospital. It's always good to review. And Garcia is not impressed with Santos, like at all. And Garcia says, no sign of tension, at least no tension pneumo.
Because there's some tension in the room, baby.
There's some tension in the roomo. Now, Becca is asking for Langdon, and Langdon goes to help Mohan on his way to go to Becca, and she says she thinks she's having a heart attack because she can barely breathe. And then we cut back to our first victim from the slide collapse. Now, I want to talk about this. This is Mark the Shark. He's an orthopedic surgeon. I have so many things that I want to say. One, this character, and I don't even work in the medical field, but this is such a perfect representation of an orthopedic surgeon that I laughed out loud. Because have you guys ever been to an orthopedic surgeon before?
I have not.
No.
Okay, I have been. And it was fucking awful. He was very much like this, super unhelpful. I almost straight up left in the middle of the appointment because he was just so rude. He seemed like a guy who peaked in high school and then decided to be a surgeon so that he could have money and drive fast cars. That was the energy he gave. And so to see this guy, Mark the Shark, I was like, it's giving the same energy.
Yeah, I did not like this guy. I don't want this guy touching my bones.
Yeah, I liked him only because I thought that it was such a good...
Thought it was accurate.
Yes. Here's number 2. This man walked into this room, and I was like, holy shit, that's Tommy from 911. That's Buck's By Awakening. Holy fucking shit. I know someone is listening to this podcast and is like, oh my god, thank God somebody's pointing this out. That's Tommy. Okay, so here's the thing. 911 was like my favorite show for the longest time. Like I don't even know what season they're on. I stopped watching last year, but I watched from the day that show started airing until some point last year, and then I stopped watching because a character died that I was just like, this is ridiculous. I'm not even going to watch that. I'm done. Like I'm washing my hands of this. It's just pointless. So Buck is one of my comfort characters. I love that stupid little himbo.
Oh, I am aware of the lore. I have never seen an episode of that show in my life, but I feel like I know these characters just purely from like how many of my friends I've made online from like other fandoms have like pivoted to being 911 like creators.
I love Buck so much. He's so stupid, but he's so smart. And for years.
The ideal way for a man to be honest.
Yes, and he's beautiful. And so for years, people were like, this character is gay. This character is gay. This character is into men. And he was like so into women that it was like only fueling the fire of being like, he's into men, right? And then the show changed networks. And immediately they wrote a plot where Buck meets this guy who's played by Mark the Shark named Tommy and like starts dating him and realizes that he's into men. And we were like, wow! Like I have a video because it was years of us waiting for this. I have a video of me with one of my best friends on the couch watching it happen on TV for the first time and screaming and jumping around because we were so excited. And props to the actor. His name is Oliver Stark because he was like, I told them that like I didn't care whether they ended up writing him as bi or not. I was going to act him that way. And I love Oliver Stark. I love Buck. So to see this man, yeah, anyway, I lost my shit. I was so excited to see this man. Not that I liked the man. I was just like, oh my God, it's him. So yeah, Whitaker's like terrified of this guy, very intimidated by him. And I was like, why?
No, incredibly funny to me the way he's just immediately like, I knew he meant saline. Like he's just so scared.
He is a feeble, he's a feeble little...
He's a twink.
Yeah.
He's our starving Victorian orphan.
It was so funny to me that HBO Max had Garen Howell like make a little reel TikTok whatever where they address those jokes, and I'm like, no, stay the fuck out of the fandom. You can't make those jokes. We can make those jokes.
Also, okay, speaking of Whitaker, I feel like his eye bags are just getting bigger as the season progresses, because I was like watching this episode and I was like, my God, his eye bags, like, is this man okay? I also saw a TikTok where someone was like, why does this man have the most sad gay face I've ever seen? Like everything he does in a sad gay way. And I was like, yes, absolutely.
He and Hudson Williams have those bottom eyes on lock.
Yes, the yearning bottom eyes.
Oh, we're gonna get canceled again for that. Great.
Listen, you can't cancel us. You have to come to each of our houses and take our microphones away. We're never gonna stop.
I live in a wealthy area. The police response time is fantastic. Try me. Oh, don't. Oh, okay. But yeah, he says to irrigate the hell out of the leg with 3 liters. And Whitaker's like, 3 liters? And he goes, of saline, genius. Very good. Joy she comes in to get Robby, who seems kind of incredulous that something is happening with Mohan. Now they rush over, the EKG is normal, and Robby's like totally fine at first. He's grabbing the EKG, he's examining Mohan, everything is fine for a second. And then the water slide collapses out from under us. Because Robby basically is like, oh, she's a psych case. Fuck her.
And I'm like, okay, who had a panic attack in peds last season, my guy? Like, it that honestly bothers me more than anything else when it's like, you've been there. Like, that was you last season, and you're gonna be an asshole about this? That's crazy. It's not as if you can be like, oh, I don't believe in mental health or whatever. I mean, which, like, I guess he doesn't, but it's like, dude, what the fuck? You know what it's like to have a panic attack at work. Fuck yourself.
I've seen this incredible thing being pointed out that like I didn't particularly clock until somebody pointed it out to me, where season 1 we were more in Robby's mind, so we were able to see him freak out and flashback and panic attack and all that jazz, whereas here in season 2 we're seeing him get progressively more aggressive and shitty towards his coworkers, and that is also one of the symptoms of like being suicidal, of like trying to be as shitty and
burn your bridges
so no one misses you, quote unquote.
Adding another piece of evidence to the Robby is suicidal pile as it's getting bigger and taller than me at this point. Like, that man is going to kill himself, but actually he's not going to get to kill himself because I'm going to kill him first for the way he just treated Mohan.
I would like to point out that I said that earlier in the season, that it was harder to be sympathetic with Robby because he wasn't like outwardly having panic attacks. And Mal said, I don't think someone needs to be outwardly having panic attacks and showing signs of stress for me to feel bad for them and understand that something's going on. So Mal hates women, I guess. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Because Robert just said the same thing.
I support all women except for Camille.
Apparently. Jesus.
The thing for me is that if Robby approached this more understandingly, I'd be like, I'm kind of on board with the idea of like, oh, you're having a panic attack. If he said it nicely, you're having a panic attack, do you need to go home? Like, if he said it like that instead of like, oh, you're having a panic attack over mommy issues, do you need to go home? You should go home. I would have been more on his side, but like the way he delivers it and the like mocking tone he does it in, I'm like, Robby, no, fuck off.
My note was literally just, fuck you.
You got to say it the same way Noah Wiley does to Patrick Ball at the end.
You.
Fuck you!
That's like a really intense sneeze, my guy.
Jesus, Gloria!
Your Robby's pretty good.
It's getting better. He also says that the ED is a mess, and he tells everyone to go back to work. And I'm like, trip him. Don't trip him.
Again, true, but not like the time to say it, especially the way he says it. I'm like, my guy, please.
Mm-hmm. Now, Langdon is going to see Becca. He has brought juice options. He's got apple juice, orange juice, and cranberry juice. And he also has Pittsburgh's finest.
Which he's like, what is that? And he's like, water. Yeah, that was funny to me. All right, gang, what are you choosing? Apple juice, cranberry juice, orange juice, or water? I am an apple juice girly.
I am an apple juice girly as well.
Clown to clown connection.
Cranberry juice. I love cranberry.
Do you have a UTI?
No, I do not. I just love cranberry. Put some vodka in there, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, that's like the bad part about apple juice. You can't mix alcohol with apple juice. It does not taste good.
You can.
It does not taste
totally
good.
Can.
It does not taste good.
Real drinker, Robert.
Vodka. That's so true.
I have
cran apple with vodka is so good.
I've had straight shots of Everclear. I know how to not enjoy the alcohol I'm drinking just for the sake of getting drunk.
If you want permanent nostril hair removal, try Everclear. So he's brought her juice. She wants the OJ, but she also says that Dana said that he would be back in a few minutes, but it's definitely been longer than that. Clock him. And she hates pills. He's brought her some pills as well, but she hates pills. So Langdon, at her request, crushes them up and puts them in her OJ for her. And Becca says that Mel is going to be super worried when Langdon tells her about everything. And Langdon's like, oh, you're going to be fine. And I can't tell her. Like, I'm your doctor.
HIPAA, baby.
Yeah. Which is HIPAA. Would just like to point that out. It is not HIPPA.
It should be 2 P's.
No,
yes.
This isn't a zoo.
I know that it's like an acronym, but HIPPA is so much more aesthetically pleasing than HIPAA.
Mal wants the PP.
Yes. In this one singular case.
Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act.
Yes. Give me some accountability. Take accountability for your actions.
I am not accountable for my actions.
So you just want it to be hip poop?
No, I'll do you one better. We're calling it. So, anyway, in an effort to not violate. In an effort not to violate HIPAA, he says he's not going to tell Mel anything. And this must be such a relief for Becca to realize that, like, she has autonomy.
Yeah.
And we've talked about the baby girlification of adults with autism, and especially women, and just the way that, like, people infantilize adults with disabilities without even realizing that they're doing that, you know? And so it must be nice for her to finally have a moment where she's like, oh yeah, you don't, like, this is my life. Nothing's being taken away from me. No choice is being taken away from me. Dana says that they need Langdon back in trauma too, and he says he has to go, but then he'll be back. And she says, don't say in a few minutes unless you actually mean a few minutes. And I loved that line. I love her. I love that line. I love her. I love Langdon's rapport with the King sisters.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
Now, we cut to Roxy and her youngest, and it's one of the hardest moments of this entire episode. Oh. She's telling him to be kind, and he's saying that he is kind, that his brother's just a butthead sometimes. And
real. Brothers be like that sometimes.
And he's asking her not to go. And Javati is still struggling with this. So she does leave. And Roxy tells her son that they will always be connected by an invisible string. Ooh.
No, this was rough.
Yeah. Shane is playing games on his phone in the hallway because he doesn't want to be in the room with his dying mother. And he does tell McKay that she didn't used to look like that.
Oh.
And McKay says, if you don't go in there and say goodbye and tell your mom you love her, I think you might wish you had for a long time. You okay, Robert?
Yeah, no, that's getting me a little. The last phone call, I think, as I said on this podcast, I had with my dad was just a short little phone call, but we did say goodbye and I love you, which I still cherish very much to this day. I'm glad that the last thing I got to hear from him was I love you.
I think that there's a very important, like, even if you're mad at someone, you should still tell them I love you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what phone call is the last phone call. You don't know what moment is the last moment. And so it's very important to make sure that you still say that, even if you're mad.
The last time that I was home, there was like a big family event and I did not hug my mom. And it wasn't like intentional. We just kind of missed each other as I was leaving. And there was a part of me that was like very anxious for several weeks that I was like, oh my God, what if that's the last time that I see my mom and like I didn't hug her? So yeah, it's just rough.
Now, the amputee patient, her name is Emily. We finally find out what her name is. She wakes up and everything goes south really quickly. But they do need her consent to surgery. So she has to wake up. And so she wakes up, she says she can't feel her leg. And Robbie's like, well, we give you nerve blocks so that you won't feel pain. And he says that she was in an accident. It caused serious injury to her leg. And she turns her head. I can't imagine being in her position. I think I would have passed away on the spot because she turns her head and Whitaker and Ogilvy are manhandling her leg on the other side of the room.
Yeah, no, insanity. But it also, like, it made me think a little bit about, like when people say, I know it like the back of my hand or whatever, like, I feel like I don't know my own body parts that well, like, if they're not connected. So, like, I'm like, if I saw my, like, disembodied leg, I don't, like, would I recognize my own leg?
I think in her position, I would have been like,
how many fucking legs?
It's a hospital, like, that's a fake. They're practicing. Yes, because So she sees what's left of her leg on her body, and she starts freaking out, and she's asking if they can just reattach it. So basically, they take that as consent and knock her out again. Robby just, like, elbows her in the face. It's like, go to sleep.
It was kind of funny to me the way that she was like, reattach it. And then they were like, that sounds like consent to me. Like, just...
I mean, honestly.
Somebody write that down for the legal team.
They're like, it counts. Got her on a technicality.
Yeah. We are back with Langdon and Santos. And they're working on this guy's finger. They cut the ring off. I don't like how Langdon tells Santos to stop. I will say, like, yes, he has some tone issues with her as well. And I just think he could have found a better way. Personally, I am not better. If I were in his place, I'd have been like, stop, idiot. Because at that point, if you're acting like that towards me, I'm going to just put it back at you. So, like, kudos to him for not just like, but I mean, the bar is on the floor.
See, all season, I've been like, I need these two to be together in an actual interaction. Like, I need him to apologize to her. And then now I'm like, she also needs to apologize to him because this is just like, you're being a baby. You're being a baby about this.
Yeah. And Santos continues to push back at Langdon, but like everybody has Langdon's back because they're like, well, but he's right though. And I think the problem that Santos has is that because Langdon fucked up, she has decided that he can make no good choices and he doesn't know what he's doing. Very similar to Robby, right? It invalidates literally everything about him. And I don't think that's, and a lot of people, I say, like, I don't think that's fair to treat someone with an addiction problem that way. And a lot of people will point out that the problem isn't necessarily the addiction, it's what he did to get his fix. I get that. But again, I'm like, okay, I mean, sure, I don't know. I don't really even think I have an argument for those people, Now, he has a pneumothorax, and Santos suggests a chest tube or a pigtail catheter. I do want to point out, in season 1, she really wanted to do a chest tube. She also fucked up, and I think it was, didn't she put the festival organizer guy, she put him on, it was BiPAP. She put him on BiPAP, which then I think caused a tension pneumo and required a pigtail.
Yes.
So this is another callback.
Callbacks on top of callbacks on top of callbacks.
But neither is the right answer. Langdon has a different thing he wants to try, which, again, Dr. Alice, like, yeah, he's right. That's a good option. So now we have runners from the gift shop, thankfully, Makeda, when she says it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
We get it. You run marathons.
Mal felt so represented.
No, I hate that saying. I can't. Something about it, I'm like, no. Because also, I think sprinting is worse. I'd rather run a marathon.
We still haven't found Derek's son, Zach, but there is one adult and one kid fatality at the park, but we don't know who that is.
Oof.
And Dana is upset about a chart that doesn't have a sign off, and she says, are you guys trying to kill me and the patient? And Emma's like, I got it, I can handle this. And I got the vibe that, like, it was Emma's fuck up.
Oh, that was not the vibe I got. I was like, oh, wow, look at her. She's doing a great job. But, I hope she's not the one who fucked that up.
I mean, it's a simple fuck up, but, like, I literally thought that she was like, I got it, because it was her.
Oh, I thought she was stepping in because she's a good nurse.
One of my favorite things this episode is that Giovanni comes by with the nicotine patches and gives them to Dana, who then gives them to Monica. And Dana's like, my insurance covers it, but Monica's won't. And Giovanni is like, isn't that insurance fraud? Yeah, call the cops. Like, fuck. Damn, okay.
I also laughed out loud at this because I was like, oh my god, we're doing insurance fraud? Love!
Casual.
A side tangent, not insurance fraud, but the amount of times that, like, my parents instilled in me, like, always do the right thing, don't break the law, blah, blah, blah. But then, like, I have a vivid memory once of my dad making a super illegal U-turn, and I, out loud with the open windows, was like, Dad, you can't do that. He's like, shut the fuck up.
That's the worst thing your parents did with you.
They made me a good person. Fucking A.
Here we go. Dr. Shamsi has come down to talk to Giovanni, who's very excited to see her mom because she's ready to have a moment with her mom. She's ready to have like a come to Jesus moment with her mom. But then her mom dresses her down and goes on this whole tangent about how she's better than this. And she heard about what she did and she could have died. And she says, oh, well, I made a mistake, but the more talented practitioners upstairs will fix it.
This gave me like flashbacks to pretty much any time I went to a social event with my mother in like high school and would talk to people. There would always be something that she would get mad at me for in the car. And that's what this reminded me of. It was like when I would get in the car with my mom after a social event and she would be like, I didn't like that thing that you did. And I already was like, I did not get a good grade in social interaction at this outing. And because I was just like so insecure and so like painfully awkward in high school. And I was and then like my mom would like bring up something that I didn't even think was wrong. And then I just like became so overly critical of myself. And I was just like, stop doing this to her. She knows that she was wrong. She knows she doesn't need you to tell her to.
Yeah, no, I literally wanted to like flip my fucking lid. This pissed me off so goddamn bad, especially because I'm like, you are a mother. You should have been able to look at your daughter and tell that something was going on with her, especially because she hasn't wanted to talk to you. And now she clearly does. And you have decided to turn off all empathy and dress her down in front of her colleagues at work in the middle of the day, which is totally out of line, by the way. Ugh. Dana says that Robby needs to talk to Shamsi and Giovanni, which is correct because one, he needs to stand up to Shamsi for Giovanni, and he also needs to talk to Giovanni and kind of comfort her about what happened, but also make sure she understands that it can't happen again. And he asked Dana to call in other doctors, and she says that nobody wants to work on a holiday. I'm wondering if we are going to get, like, Ellis, and if Abbott's going to be like, bro, really? You know, like, are they coming back, or...
Isn't Ellis currently clocked in for her double?
No, she did her deposition and then said she needed some sleep.
Oh, right, because she was coming back in a few hours. Right. Okay, so she's just clocking in at when night shift is supposed to clock in at 7. Okay, I was confused.
Mohan is taking a break until her labs come back, and we are back to Santos, Langdon, and Garcia. And again, Langdon's just coaching, and Santos will not take it. She will not accept any coaching. And they do this procedure, and I don't know about you guys, but the sound of the little baggie inside that device inflating and deflating was so satisfying to me for some reason.
I agree.
That was such ASMR for me. I was like,
it was a good little noise.
Like, ooh, crispy. Now, Garcia says, apparently decency and decorum need to be reintroduced to our R2 curriculum. And my note was just, get her! She's like, sorry, I don't sleep with children.
Yeah, Santos is not at her. Like, I am the number one Santos defender, and this is not a good look for you, babe.
Mm-mm.
It's not a good
Mm-mm.
look.
Quick recap on a bunch of people. Howard's still in surgery, no word. Please pull through, King. We love you.
Please, Howard, we love you.
Baby Jane Doe has no updates.
Baby Jane Doe.
Jude with his missing fingers, he's still waiting for surgery, so that's what you missed on Glee, except it's the pit.
And Monica is over to the side, like working, but also like sniffing a pack of cigarettes. Yeah.
You guys
Ew.
can call it disgusting because you like value your lungs or whatever, but as someone who has smoked cigarettes multiple times in my life, yeah, like the smell of a good cigarette really gets me sometimes.
Yeah, sure. I recognize that 100%. But like huffing a pack of cigarettes in a hospital is fucking wild, dude.
Okay, in a hospital is
That's
what makes it
crazy.
wild, but like sometimes
No,
smelling
just
the
sticking
cigarettes.
your nose in a pack of cigarettes and huffing. That's
Sometimes
wild.
it's fun, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. Now, Langdon wants to know if the county has picked up Louis yet, and they haven't. We have an 8-year-old boy who also comes in from the water slide accident. He has major neck trauma. He fell 8 feet and got caught in a tree. This is not Derek's son. They can't crike him if they can't intubate him because he's too small. But if they don't get him breathing, he's going to die.
I thought it was kind of interesting, speaking of it just not being Derek's son. He comes in, he's like, this is not Zach. They're like, is this your son or whatever? And he's like, no, but almost seems kind of devastated. Like, almost like it would be better for him to know where his son is in this moment than, like, it still be a mystery. Because this child is not doing well.
And they do what's called a slash trach. That's what Dr. Al suggests. And then as she's about to start, you can see her trauma kind of catch up with her. And remember, we talked about the Dashti Barchi maternity hospital. And so this is kind of that trauma of seeing injured children catching up with her. Now, she pushes through and she teaches everybody how to do this. And she is so good.
She's so good.
I love her. I really do love her.
She's so competent. And I'm so sorry to her earlier in this season when I was like, I don't think I like her. I should have known that, like, she's a hot woman. Of course, I'm gonna come around.
She's a hot woman in STEM. Maybe ease off the AI a little bit, but other than that, she's perfect.
She's good at her job. Yeah. Checks all my boxes.
It's extra, like, hot and both amazing. She's never performed them before.
Right. Yeah, she's never done this before.
She's adapting very easily to, like, cowboy medicine almost. Like, this is still a proper procedure. It's just, like, on the extreme. And I'm like, damn, she's going to replace Robby really good.
And she did forget a step. Okay, so the final step is to change your underwear, which is what Whitaker contributes. And Garcia comes in. She's like, what did you use, like a hatchet or something like that? And she says that ENT, which is ear, nose, and throat, will be thrilled to clean up Dr. Al's mess. Dr. Al says, or maybe they'll thank us for not letting him die. And everybody in the room is just like, we're in love with you.
Yep. Me.
It's giving the moment in season 1 after they save the patient, the tonsillectomy hemorrhage patient, and ENT finally comes down and Whitaker makes a joke at them and Robby and Langdon exchange a look of like, oh, kids got game. It's giving that.
Yeah.
Like they're all like, okay. I loved it.
Ogilvy follows back up with the English teacher with the kidney stone, hands him a book to read while he waits. Again, I don't care about Ogilvy's fucking daddy issues with his English teacher dad. Like,
no,
God.
This episode is about mommy issues. If you don't have mommy issues, it's not about you.
No one cares about you. But also, like I said earlier, he thought he'd have free time to read a book. And I find that so hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't imagine my first day of a job, of any job, being so confident that I was going to have just a bunch of free time and have nothing going on. What?
So Duke is here. I did not expect him to look like this. However, as soon as I saw him, I was like, this guy must have been in Mayans, the show. I don't know if you guys ever watched it. It was the spinoff for Sons of Anarchy. I never watched Sons of Anarchy, but I did watch Mayans MC. I loved it. It was my favorite show for a minute. like, this must be where I know him from.
Hmm.
No, but he was on Sons of Anarchy, so I get half a point. Now we have the attorney on the elevator with Mel bringing her back down after her deposition, and she says it was the most unprofessional deposition she's ever witnessed. Basically, they're just after a settlement, right? They want to make Mel feel bad, they want to undermine her, and then they want to settle. They don't want to win, they want to settle, right? They want to seem like enough of a threat or enough of a nuisance that the hospital will settle and they'll get their money out of it. However, she's covered by the hospital's insurance and it won't affect her career, which I think makes her feel a little better, but I'm not quite sure. It's kind of hard to read her in this moment.
We also move on pretty quick. Like, it's hard to tell what Mel is really thinking.
Especially because McKay and Langdon ask her, how did it go? And she's like,
On top of that, Santos hands her charts back and she's like, hop to it. And like, it really sucks for Mel not to be able to have even 5 minutes to like decompress and be like, well, that sucked.
And she's asking about Becca, and she asked Langdon like what the diagnosis is, and Langdon is like, well, I can't tell you that because of HIPAA.
HIPAA, baby!
Because of... And so Langdon, again, wants the contact info for the coroner because he wants to make sure that Louis gets a proper burial in case no one comes forward. And Dana is asking if he's checked with Abby. And I was like, that's a great question, because we know he has a track record of not asking his wife about these things before
and doing
he commits.
Impulsive, expensive things. The dog.
The salmon for dinner. What the fuck, guy?
Salmon in this economy?
So then she says that the success of his sobriety is a testament to his support system and that Louis didn't have one. So he shouldn't feel like he owes Louis anything, right? And he shouldn't feel like he's in Louis's shoes because Langdon has a support system and Louis did not.
Right.
So she's like, don't compare yourselves. There's no comparison to make there. And he just wants Louis to be put to rest with dignity. So Dana says that she will find the contact information for him. Dana asks Robby if he heard that, but he immediately gets pulled away to deal with Duke. And Robby, being that he is madly in love with Whitaker, asks him to come and help with Duke.
I remember one of the complaints when Becca showed up was like, oh, just because she's Mel's sister, she can just cut the line like that. And like, no, it's different circumstances. It's different circumstances. However, I really want to complain and be like, because especially with how Robby talks to Duke in a few minutes, I'm like, Duke got to cut the line. Duke even looked around when he was talking to Lupe, being like, wait, I could just go in. That's it. And yeah, he was escorted. I'm like, that I'd be more pissed. If I like knew the full context between Mel and Becca and Robby and Duke, I'd be more pissed at the Robby Duke situation.
I would be a little pissed because it's a holiday. And also, like, this is something that he should see a primary care physician for, because he gets hoarse every so often. And like, I get that we're probably saying this man has cancer, right? But I'm like, okay, so you had him come to the emergency department on a holiday weekend. Cool.
Totally has cancer. They use, but we don't know yet. They use a scope to check his voice box and vocal cords. There's nothing there. Whitaker is like, we need a chest x-ray. Duke is like, to Robby is like, oh, you're still doing your trip. Only an idiot would ride all night after working a 12-hour day.
Mm-hmm.
Robby's not coming back, folks.
Robby's not coming back because Robby's not leaving.
The new theory I'm fond of is that it's either Abbott or Whitaker is going to put him in a mandatory psych hold.
Ooh, I think it's going to be Langdon.
Oh, Langdon also is a popular one of like, you saved me, let me save you kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys seen that photo of like, Ho'oponopono, and it's Robby being like, I love you to Abbott.
Yeah.
Thank you to Whitaker. I forgive you to Langdon. Please forgive me to Jake.
Hate that.
By the way, Jake, if we remember from season 1, worked in a water park with his girlfriend. That's where he met his girlfriend. So I'm fully expecting Jake to show up. Wasn't that one of the things? Isn't that where he met his girlfriend? Am I tweaking?
Did he?
Am I tweaking? How am I not remembering this?
Jake met Leia during junior lifeguards over the summer and had been together for a little over 2 months. He was a lifeguard.
Okay, not necessarily at a water park.
I don't think it was.
Okay.
The theory that's also going around is like, oh, he was a lifeguard at the water park when this happened. I don't think he got hurt. I don't think he's hurt. But I think to build the whole Ho'oponopono out for Robby, Jake does need to show up in some capacity.
You sound like a ghost.
Listen, I'm not really on Pitt social media.
Neither am I.
I think it's easier to do this podcast if I'm not. And I I have seen none of this, and I'm like, dang, you guys are smart.
Sometimes they are.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Sometimes.
don't give them too much credit. They also just think it's bad writing that Robby isn't wearing helmets.
Well,
so don't give them too much
those
credit.
are the things I see on Pitt social media, which is why I'm like, I'm not gonna. That and the Pitt is a Pittsburgh themed hospital in Hawaii.
That lore is still going strong.
1 step forward, 6 or 7 steps back.
Hey.
6'7".
6'7". Now, we have a scene with Garcia and Santos. Santos asks if they're okay, which to me, it is giving very juvenile to be like, hey, are we okay? Isn't that like she's done this multiple times this season? Are we okay?
Yeah, she just wants to talk to her.
And I'm like, okay, I need you to come up with the actual question that you're wanting to ask. You need to be more direct.
Are we dating or are we just fucking?
But it also feels like she's gotten an answer to that. The answer to that is we're just fucking. And that's okay, but you both have to be okay with that. Like, and you're clearly not.
Santos is like, listen, whose side are you on? I think Langdon should have been fucking fired. And Garcia's like, look, Langdon made a mistake. He owned up to it. I'm like, that's not the whole story.
Okay, but like when she says, whose side are you on? I was like, girl, grow the fuck up.
Well, and Garcia even says, like, what is this, middle school?
Yeah, put on your big girl panties. Like, what the fuck? I didn't like, so Santos says, I've been a goddamn pariah for the last 10 months for doing the right thing. And clock her tea, Garcia says, or maybe you're a pariah because you don't play well with others. And I'm like, it's that.
I think if you've been a pariah, it's because you've made yourself one. Like, nobody else really needed to know what happened.
It's that meme from Meet the Robinsons where like Goob is walking down the hallway and he's like, they all hated me. Meanwhile, all the people are like, hey Goob, you want to come to my house after school? Hey Goob, you're fun. It's like, that's what Santos is going through right now.
Yeah.
And like, you give people shitty nicknames that Javati's like, Huckleberry is a shitty nickname. Like, even the people in the show are like, these are shitty nicknames. To be clear, I just think, and again, I don't think anyone, like, who knows that she's the one who, because does anyone know what happened with Langdon? They just know he had a drug problem. They don't know that he was stealing drugs.
Yeah.
So for her to be like, oh, everyone hates me for doing the right thing, is like, 1, I don't think anyone hates you. And 2, I don't think anyone even knows any of that. And they shouldn't.
No,
yeah.
they shouldn't.
Unless
So I'm like,
you've been telling people.
Right.
And that would be the thing that would make me want to avoid her if she's been telling other people that, like, oh yeah, Langdon was stealing drugs.
Because then she'd tell people I'm stealing drugs.
Yeah.
If she clocked his tea, she's gonna clock mine.
Garcia, very straight to the point, is like, listen, if you want to have sex and eat ramen in bed, I'm your girl. But if you want to talk about Langdon again, go talk to a fucking therapist. And then she leaves.
Amazing. Also, ramen in bed? Can't do that.
Ramen? No, women.
Ew.
Ew.
Could you tell me about the menu, please?
The men I please are none of your business.
Even with last week, Garcia in the elevator being like, we're just keeping it casual, right? There are still people who are like, are they fucking? And it's like, yes, they are. Here you have final fucking in English confirmation. They have sex. They're hooking up. Santos caught feelings for her situationship. Please, for the love of God, put your phone down when you watch the show.
Now, Joy knows about Javati's TikToks, and we find this out because Ogilvy calls her Dr. J, and she says, don't ever call me that again. And Joy says, don't worry, he doesn't know about your TikToks. He does now!
And the grin on his face as he goes, you're an influencer? I'm like, I hate you. Go die.
I'll snap you with a rubber band, you little bitch.
Sentence him to death via stoning. I will cast the first stone.
Yes. And the second, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth.
I would
and the
like
sixth.
to issue a public statement that I don't actually want the character of Ogilvy to die. I just think he's annoying,
Yes,
and I'm saying that for comedic effect. Camille, shut up.
So Dr. Al needs to talk to Robby privately, and they step off to the side. And part of me was like, oh, I love that this isn't your typical tropey medical drama, because they didn't go into a closet to talk privately, because that's unprofessional. Dr. Al asks what the hell it was with Samira earlier, and he's like, oh, it's tough love. And I'm like, okay, you don't give your employees
That's not
tough love. Also, that's being a bitch, but sure.
Yeah.
So he says that it's not for the faint of heart. in the ED, and she says that it's also not for those who lack empathy. Clock his tea. Robby says that it's not the job that's causing Samira's panic attack, it's her personal life, and that she needs to pull her head out of her ass. And my note is, I'm about to shove Robby's head up his own ass.
Yeah,
This man lost me so quickly this season.
Yeah, and I mean, again, we said it's, he's burning bridges, and he's burning bridges with the audience as well.
Yes, and I want to clarify that that's intentional on the part of the writers.
Right.
You are supposed to not like him. It's not like people get online and go, can I share a hot take? I really don't like Robby this season. I'm like, that's not a hot take. That's what you're supposed to feel.
No, he sucks.
Like, you're supposed to feel that way.
Because he's burning his bridges, because he's going to kill himself.
Which I don't actually think he's going to try. I think that something is going to happen. I don't think Robby's going to die. I think that something's going to happen that will stop him in his tracks or whatever is going to happen.
Noah Wiley has won so many awards for playing this role that if you, like, they're going to have to pry this role from his cold, dead hands. They're not killing off Robby. Noah Wiley is going to continue to play Michael Rabinovich.
Much like how there's a lot of characters who are still treating Langdon like a drug addict and like ordering drugs like instead of him, like Whitaker, for example. I think next season a lot of people are gonna be like, Mike, you can't hold the knife. Psychiatrist
order. You can't have that scalpel, but
can't have that scalpel.
Sorry.
Mike, we haven't seen you in 5 minutes. You need to announce your presence to everyone in the room, please and thank you.
Now, Dr. Al says, what about you? What do you need to get some basic human empathy back? And I was like, he needs to be killed. He needs to be punched in the face. Trip him. I'm obsessed with the idea of someone just sticking a foot out and tripping him, Just like, get your shit together. I love that. Emma has found the water slide boy, Zach. Pittsburgh PD is on the way, but that does not sound great to me.
It does not sound great to me either.
So
I hope that this child was not the fatality.
Here we go. We're going to set off sirens, bells, those little kazoos, just like the clappers, ding, 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 like the most obnoxious, loud ringing you've ever heard in your life, because this is the biggest Camille was loud and right moment that we're ever going to have, ever. I threw my hands up in the air and went, yes, when I saw this.
Congrats to Becca on the sex.
Mel comes to check on Becca. Becca says that Langdon is super nice and she sees why Mel likes him so much. I love this. Again, Langdon says, I have not said anything. That's up to you. He gives them a moment so that Becca can decide whether or not she wants to share. Langdon knows everything as her physician, but Mel doesn't know anything.
Yeah. Becca has a UTI. That's the first ding, ding, ding. Camille was right, bell.
We all knew that.
Yeah, 100%. And Mel starts listing all the medical reasons you can get a UTI. And she's like, well, all these reasons, but it's not like you're having sex. And Becca's like, yes, I am. With my boyfriend, Adam, we're having lots of sex. And Mel's fucking face.
It's the face of someone who just learned that her twin sister is having more sex than she is.
Imagine learning that your twin sister fucks after like a deposition that was awful.
I made my joke that Camille yelled at me about a couple episodes ago, was like, oh, Santos is giving subpar care because she's not getting laid tonight. No, that was Mal who said that. My bad. What if
all women blur together for Robert, misogynist?
And now if I say Mel's going to give subpar care because she's not getting laid tonight and she had a shitty deposition, Mal, what are you going to say to that?
I mean, honestly, she deserves it. She deserves to have...
She's going to have to find that little criminal boy.
She deserves to go apeshit.
It's so funny because, like, with my older sister, we don't want to know a single thing about each other's sex lives, but also in conversation or, like, during drinking games, things come up and we're like, la, 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 la. Wait, what the fuck did you do?
Yeah, Mel's face, she's like, my entire world is falling apart. My reality is crumbling around me. My stomach is gone. What? I loved this moment. And I also want to say, to the person who was in our comment section saying, like, I want to point out that sex isn't the only reason you can get a UTI. There's no shade at all towards you. You are 100% right. 100% right. That was just my theory. So no shade towards you, but I was right. In the most loving way possible.
I feel like you think UTI and you think, oh, sex.
Mm-hmm.
But then you kind of think like, oh, but Becca's not having sex. So, like, in a way, it is still sort of subverting expectations.
But it also, again, stems, a lot of people might have been like putting like, oh, she got it from something else. It is sort of stemming from the baby girlification of women with neurodivergency. Neurodivergence. But that's not the case here, ladies. Becca King fucks!
Woohoo!
I did reach out to Tal Anderson and I was like, I knew it! And she was like, wait, what? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I watched the episodes early, so I've already seen the episode. She was like, oh, thank God. I thought I spoiled something. So
Tal, congrats on the fictional sex. Good for her.
Robby comes to check on Samira and she's fine. And he apologizes for being unprofessional, but she says a dick, which is right. And he says, now I kind of need you to stop feeling sorry for yourself and focus on your patients. And I was like, and you ruined it.
God, Robby, do you have to suck so bad?
I don't think he ruined it, but I have no defense.
It's just not the time for a joke.
Yeah, there it is.
I think that's on par for his rapport, his banter, but it's not the right moment.
There we go. That's what I would say, yes. Camille, thank you for being loud, right, and smart.
Oh, you're welcome. Now, we also, for our last scene, cut to McKay with Roxy. Roxy is with her husband, Paul. Her parents are there. The boys are not there. And McKay is going to give her more pain meds.
This could stop her breathing.
And it very much expect it to.
It broke my heart in like all the like in love with a person ways when Roxy was like, oh, you should be with the boys. And Paul was like, no, I'm here where I need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the ending of this episode is so abrupt. And I kind of love it because I feel like a lot of times we get like some big dramatic ending. But this almost felt like more of a cliffhanger to me because I was like expecting the scene to continue and like it just ended and I was like, oh my God, what?
And a reminder, listeners, we don't have the previews for the next episode.
Yeah.
So we went right into the credits and then we were like, well, fuck me, I guess. Like, we don't have anything. So, yeah, so we don't know what's coming next. I love that McKay focuses her attention on her patient. There is no question who McKay is focused on. She's waiting for Roxy to give the okay, not anyone else. This is totally Roxy's choice. It's just very sad, very quiet.
That's how it is.
And that's where the episode is over.
Patient passports, dare I ask?
My patient passport moment is going to be Dr. Al with the slash trach.
Mal, I'm surprised yours isn't the top setting the standards of the relationship to the bottom.
No.
This is also me. Listen, it is not my job to figure out who's the top and bottom in like the Santos Garcia relationship, situationship, whatever's going on. I'm just making a joke.
Gar Santos, call that top ramen.
Okay, can that be my patient passport moment? You making that joke?
Absolutely.
Oh,
I think my patient passport moment is everything McKay. Like, I think she deserves more love, and she's so good in these scenes with Roxy.
My patient passport moment is when Whitaker's like, I knew it was saline. I know. It's like, buddy, we know you know.
We know you know.
You can't look at a vagina, but you do know that they're talking about saline. We know, buddy. We know.
He's like, I can't look at vaginas. I'm scared of this man because he clearly fucks. And also... any final thoughts?
Hug your loved ones.
Make sure you tell them that you love them. You don't know if you're going to have another chance, even if you're very, very mad. And I suggest there's a Reliant K song, and the lyrics are, you know I'll always love you, but right now I just don't like you. So you're allowed to not like someone, but you should still tell them you love them.
Also, we're all together this weekend, so think of us.
Expect pictures and videos.
And hope that we all still get along in person, because we've never been together. If you feel a shift in the universe, it's because the three of us are together for the first time.
We gonna fuck shit up. Well, if that's all, So long, fellow losers.
The Pit Crew podcast is created and produced by us, Robert, Mal, and Camille. It's edited by me, Robert. You can find us on TikTok, Threads, and Instagram at Pit Crew Podcast. If you'd like to support our other projects, our socials are linked in the show notes below. Our art is by Rampacoca. He can be found on Instagram at Rampacoca. All patient questions and concerns can be emailed to pittcrewpodcast@gmail.com. Now, this isn't a Taco Bell, but we do appreciate a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to schedule a follow-up appointment with a nurse before you go. See you next time.